Browns preparing to take on the 49ers Sunday, 1 o'clock, Huntington Bank Field. And of course, the topic du jour all week and today was Myles Garrett. He'll be going up against Trent Williams. Jim Schwartz today called it Hall of Fame versus Hall of Fame. Mary Kay, it is very much the highlight matchup in this football game.
It really is. This is going to be one of the biggest tests that Myles has had all season long. Trent is amazing. He's so great at what he does. Again, he is a future Hall of Famer, a longtime savvy veteran. The last time these two guys met up in 2023, they exchanged jerseys. And Trent Williams, he had an ankle injury that game. You guys probably remember he came kind of hobbling out of the locker room because he did not want to let the team down, and he played against Myles. And Myles kind of had his day a little bit, but I do think that a healthy Trent is going to be a little bit of a challenge for Myles.
Yeah, this is good. This is such an interesting matchup, Ashley, because of that. But also, this is kind of the first time in a little while that the Browns are facing a team that I think will probably emphasize getting the ball out quickly, getting the ball into the hands of guys like George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. They've kind of been facing some different styles of offense, really going back to the bye week. And so it's been a while since they've faced this type of offense.
Yeah, it's easier, I should say, to avoid sacks when you have a guy like Christian McCaffrey, who's leading your team in both rushing yards and receiving yards. So that certainly helps. Look, Brock Purdy's only been sacked 3 times. Now he's missed some time. He's only played in 4 games, but he's not getting sacked a lot. But I am curious to see what this looks like. It's a better O-line, obviously, than the Raiders, who had maybe the worst O-line. So I'm not expecting 10 sacks, but I am curious if this Browns front can do enough to rattle Purdy, especially knowing he threw those 3 first-half interceptions last week.
And, of course, we know, Mary Kay, every single sack by Myles is getting him one closer to that 22.5 mark. That is the current NFL record. He is barreling towards breaking that. And today I thought it was interesting. We did talk to Mason Graham today, and, of course, Myles spoke today. And both of them seem to indicate, like, this isn't something Myles will celebrate when it happens. This feels like an entire defensive line award in a lot of ways.
Yes, absolutely. Myles does credit his teammates with helping him get to this point, and he only needs 5 more sacks to shatter that NFL single season record of 22.5. And we discovered today, thanks to some sleuthing by Dan, we discovered today that his goal, which he said was written on his tape, is 25. I think he's going to blow past that number. He's on pace right now for 27. He's got some teams coming up that are going to let him get to that quarterback. The Titans will be one of them. And so I think he's going to exceed his goal and also reach one of the coveted goals that he set when he was a rookie in 2017.
Yeah, even if he doesn't, for some reason he doesn't get a sack this week, he only gets 1 sack. He's got Cam Ward coming to town. He's got Caleb Williams in Chicago in a couple weeks. Both of those guys hold the football and will give him opportunities. And those opportunities also will come, Ashley, from Mason Graham, Malik Collins, whoever's on the other side, Isaiah McGuire, Alex Wright, Cam Thomas, all of those guys really making that quarterback move into Myles.
Yeah, Mason made the joke today because he's still searching for his first solo sack of the season that at least even though he doesn't have it yet, he knows it's going to a good cause, that Myles Garrett has been able to capitalize and finish off of some of Mason's pressure. And, Malik Collins talked about after that Raiders game, this idea of with Myles playing at this level, it really is upping the rest of the line's game, because he said it's going to look silly if Myles Garrett breaks the sack record and none of the rest of us are doing anything in terms of rushing the quarterback. So it really has been a team thing, even though obviously this would be a great individual accomplishment.
Okay. Browns, 49ers, Huntington Bank Field, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Let's do storylines. Let's make our picks for this football game. Ashley, lead us off.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what this Jim Schwartz defense is going to do against a Kyle Shanahan offense. Jim Schwartz has had the edge by far throughout these two guys' coaching careers. They've faced each other as head coaches, as coordinators, but when they are running those respective systems, Jim Schwartz is 8-1. So talk today again, it's not about them. The players have to go out there and do it. But I am curious. That's a big reason for my pick, which I'm going to sound crazy. I don't think a lot of people are going to pick the Browns in this game, but I think it's going to be a lot like that 2023 19-17 Cleveland win where no one really expected it. I think the defense is going to carry them through. I think the weather is also going to be a factor. So I'm picking a low-scoring game, but I'm going with the Browns 17-13.
Okay, I'm carrying some baggage into this because in that game a few years ago, I did pick the 49ers, but I very flippantly one day was like, I think the Browns could maybe win this game 20-19, but I didn't have the guts to actually make that pick. So there's a part of me that doesn't want to repeat that mistake. I'm also a little nervous. I mean, we haven't even mentioned Shedeur Sanders' name yet in this video, but he's making his second start against a great defensive coordinator in Robert Saleh. I think he's going to throw some confusing things at him. He's a guy that you'll hear it on our preview Orange and Brown Talk podcast. He can kind of change that picture a little bit pre-snap and post-snap, and I wonder what that's going to do to Shedeur Sanders. So this is my long way of saying I'm really torn on who I'm going to pick in this game, and I'm going to pick the 49ers to win. But just like Ashley, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think it's going to be a coin flip football game, but I'm going to take San Francisco to win this game 16-13. Mary Kay?
Well, I'm looking at Shedeur Sanders in his second NFL start to see what he can do against this Robert Saleh-led defense. They play really, really good team defense, even though they're last in the NFL with 13 sacks. So they don't always get home, but they should be able to rattle the quarterback. And I think that's going to be a key to this football game. But I still think that those Cleveland Browns are going to play with their hair on fire at Huntington Bank Field. We watched Brock Purdy throw 3 interceptions in the first half of that game on Monday night, and I think that the Browns are going to be licking their chops to get some more of those. So I am actually picking the Browns to win this game, and I do think weather is going to be a factor. I don't know who is going to have the weather advantage, but I do think that it will be a factor in some way. But I think the Browns will prevail 20-19.
All right, there we go. Whatever happens on Sunday, whatever the weather, whatever we see in that football game, if I have regrets afterwards, you'll hear about it all, read about it all, see it all at cleveland.com/Browns.